Let's go ahead and tell them for the one time. Shh, 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 shh. It's Fraser Nation in the building. About to do another episode of the geometry series for the one time. Bring it in simplest terms. 5.5, we're going to use inequalities in a triangle. If you don't remember, these are what the inequality signs look like. You know, Pac-Man, alligator. However you learned about it in the 7th and 8th grade. So we're going to go ahead and move on forward. Our objective is students will be able to use inequalities in a triangle to find possible side lengths. Okay? So, first and foremost, remember, a triangle has 3 sides. A triangle with no congruent sides is called scalene. I mean, it's not really too much you need to remember here. There is a difference between this symbol and this symbol, and that is when it's up in the air like this, that means less than. Okay, so this symbol right here, you know, Pac-Man, when he's eating to the right, that means less than. But when it's flat like this, when it's horizontal, when it's going just strictly left to right, when it's on the floor, it means that it's an angle. So angle ABC, angle XYZ, whatever angle you have. So let's move forward. A truth about triangles. In any triangle, the largest angle is across from the longest side and the smallest angle is across from the shortest side. We're going to talk about that down here in our theorems. So you can go ahead and write these words out, okay? But really what they're saying is anytime you have a longer side of a triangle and a shorter side of the triangle, then the angles across will also be largest and smallest. So if I have AB over here is 8, and we know that BC is 5. Well, if I know that AB is greater than BC, then I know that the angle across from AB, which is C, has to be greater than, so let's put 2 bands on it, has to be greater than the angle across from BC, which is A. Okay? And likewise, if we go in reverse, if we know the 2 angle measures, so we see that angle A is greater than angle B. So since we know that, then the sides across from them have to be longer. So let's say if we know that angle A is 50, or if we know that it's larger, then we can say that CB has to be longer than AC. Okay? So basically, this is what you want to remember right here. That's the big enchilada. That's the big enchilada. So let's move on. Theorem 5.12 is pretty much the fun one. This is the one that you're going to want to remember on the ACT, the SAT, all these lovely standardized tests that we're doing. The sum of the length of any 2 sides of a triangle has to be greater than the third side. If it's not greater than the third side, you do not have a triangle. How about we look at some of these things? Let's call AB 10. Let's call BC 4. And let's call AC, I don't know, 12. Okay? So let's just go through this, okay? And remember, when you're talking about theorem 5.12, you want to do all 3 possibilities. So let's do that. Is 10 plus 4 greater than 12? Is that true? Yeah, it's true. What about if we have 12 plus 4? Is that greater than 10? Yeah, that's true. What about if we had 10 plus 12? Is that greater than 4? Yeah, very much so. So in this theorem, any 2 sides that you add up has to be greater than the third side. Well, let's get another example going. Okay? What if I had like 6 and I had 8 and I had 16? Okay? Well, I have to check all 3 possibilities. So if I have 8 plus 16, is that greater than 6? Yeah, that's true. What if I had 6 plus 16? Is that true? Is that greater than 8? Yeah, that's true. But let's look at 6 plus 8. Is that greater than 16? Is that greater than 16? Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Is 14 greater than 16? No. 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 It's not. So right here, this is not a triangle. So no, no, no. So you have to check all three possibilities. Let's go ahead and move to some examples for the one time. So I want you to list the angles of triangle RST in order from smallest to largest. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, we know the three angles, the three side lengths of RST. RS is 6, ST is 7, RT is 8. Well, remember I told you the largest angle is across from the longest side. The smallest angle is across from the smallest side. So if the smallest side in our triangle is 6, then let's do angles here. Let's do angles. Let's do angles, okay? Let's do angles. And let's do sides. Let's do sides. Let's do sides. So our smallest, our shortest side is going to be RS, okay? The next one is going to be ST, and then the longest side is going to be RT. Well, then the angle across from RS, which would be angle T, okay? That's the only angle there, so that's the only reason I'm going to use T. That has to be the shortest or the smallest angle. Next is ST. So the angle across is going to be angle R. And then finally, RT is the largest side. So the largest angle is going to have to be angle S. Okay? So that's how you do a problem like that. You got to look at your sides, see what's smallest, then the next one, then the biggest, and then do your angles accordingly. So this is going to be your answer right here. Okay? Likewise, so let's put like 35 in here. Okay, so list the sides of triangle KHJ from longest to shortest. So let's do angles first. Okay, and then we're going to do sides. So first and foremost, I want the largest angle. But first and foremost, we have an angle missing right here. Well, if you guys remember, we know that every triangle has 180 degrees, so this triangle right here must be, this angle must be 180 minus 90. How do I know this is 90? Because that box means it's 90. Minus 35. So we know that angle K has to be 55 degrees. Okay? So remember, in geometry, we got to always put that stuff in the picture. So we want the longest side, so that means we must want the largest angle first. So the largest angle is going to be H. Okay, that's first. Let's go ahead and do 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is the longest one. Then I need the next one, which is going to be angle K. And then the third one is going to be angle J. So now I need the side across from these. So the side across from H has to be side KJ, okay, and this is a line segment, so we need this symbol right here. Angle K comes next, so this has to be HJ, and then finally we have angle J, so this is going to have to be HK. HK with the block, and let's move on. Angle 3, example 3. Is it possible to construct the triangle with the given side lengths? If not, please explain. Well, look here. We have 3 sides. Now, some of y'all would just do 2 plus 11, 11 plus 12, 12 plus 2, and be done with it. That's not what I want you to do. What's the difference here? Look at these units. This is inches, this is inches, this is feet. Okay? So first and foremost, we have to convert. We know that 2 feet, if there's 12 inches in every foot and there's 2 feet, this must be 24 inches. Okay? So, is it possible? Well, we got to do all 3. So, 11 plus 12. Is that greater than 24? It most certainly is. It is not, because that's 23, so that's not possible. 23 is not greater than 24. So that means no, this is not possible. It's not possible. So you have no triangle. Let's do a little triangle right here. Let's do a little sad face. And then finally, describe the possible length of the third side given the length of the other two sides. So when you do problems like this, you want to first subtract, okay? You want to subtract, then you want to add, okay? So possible lengths, we're going to call that x, okay? So the only thing I have to do is I have to subtract these two, and then I have to add these two. So I have x, okay? And x has to be between these two numbers. 13 minus 5 is 8. So let's do 13 minus 5, which is equal to 8. And then 13 plus 5, which is equal to 18. So the possible side lengths of the third side has to be between 8 and 18. Okay? Now it can't be 8 because if we did 8, 5 plus 8 would be 13, and that wouldn't be a triangle. So notice that's why these are not equal to, okay? It has to be something strictly greater than 8 and something strictly less than 8. So anyway, that's how you do these type of problems. This is the last section in our unit, so please study. Let's get on that young Quizlet, okay? Unit test coming soon. Let's see, we got quizzes coming out the wazoo, and standard retakes. So remember your standards.